delusion. Welcome to your final resting place. I see your mind's full of delusion. When you look in the mirror, do you see your own face? Welcome to California. Place for hope.
Hey, I'm Matt Gleason. Welcome to Modern Art Blitz. I've got 3 guests today talking contemporary art in and around the Los Angeles art scene. My first guest, a legend downtown, a pioneer of it all, and continuing to make interesting, provocative art outside of that international ugly style mainstream. The great Steve Seemayer. Steve, how you doing?
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet me. How long have we known each other? Oh my God, jeez.
I'm just being a little formal.
Fine. He's pretending. Matt doesn't just show his friends on this show. He shows real artists. Okay, so Steve, you have discovered an artist. This is a kind of interesting thing. I mean, you're an artist. You've shown art for years. You've been making art, painting and that. But you discovered an artist. There's the legend of the Blue Bum. Tell our viewers on Modern Art Blitz here, the legend of the Blue Bum.
Well, the Blue Bum is a man I met, and I met him going up to Dodger Stadium. I live near Dodger Stadium, and what I was doing was I was in the parking lot back in 2005, and I met a kind of a raggedy-looking guy who wanted to get in, and he asked me if I had any tickets, and I said I had an extra ticket, and I told him how much the ticket would cost, and he said I have a bunch of art, and he had a bunch of drawings with him. And I actually traded him some of the drawings for these little paintings that he had, and some of them were big sketches. And so that's what I did. And he came up and sat with me up in my cheap seats up at the top deck. And I asked him where he lived, and he pointed out to the outfield, and he said, I live up in the hills right there above the Japanese park that's out in the outfield. So he actually lives up there, and he's a homeless guy. Well, he lives up there, and he makes his paintings up there. And I've been up there many, many times. I bring him art supplies. I bring him paint.
And what's his name?
He won't tell me his last name, but his first name is Sean.
Sean.
His name is Sean.
But he's known as the Blue Bum.
He's from Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn. He came out. He actually, he said he came out on some trains, and he hitchhiked across the United States from Brooklyn. And he is out here, and he took me up to his encampment. He's got an actual easel and a whole encampment up there in the hills, and he has a spyglass, like a telescope, that he watches games from when he can't get in.
This is interesting because the only Japanese park I ever associated with the Dodgers was Hideo Nomo. Okay, tell us about the artwork we're looking at behind me.
The artwork,
can we get a shot of just there we go.
The Blue Bum does a lot of, he does haiku poetry, and they all have to do with the current teams that the Dodgers are playing. Like in that one, it says something like, trapped in St. Louis cage, shoot down, gas house gang. I can't read it all right now,
Peckers.
Peckers, yeah, Peckers.
Flocking Cardinals. Is this
Cardinals.
probably in reference to the fact that as great as Clayton Kershaw is, he's never been able to beat the Cardinals in the postseason?
Exactly.
That's a lodestone.
Yeah, this Blue Bum hates the Cardinals.
Ah.
And what he does is all of his paintings, if you've looked at them for the last 20 years, and the Blue Bum does 60 paintings a year, 60. Baseball paintings during the baseball season, and so he's got hundreds.
Well, let's take a look at a few more, man. I can't believe he's making hundreds of paintings a year as a homeless person above Dodger Stadium, or Chavez Latrine, as some people call it. What are we looking at here? We bat pesky. What is it saying?
It says we bat pesky gnats. That's the Nationals.
The Nationals are the Nats, okay.
Yeah, and the next, it says, into the Chicago buzzsaw, it's blue against blue, because
Well,
Chicago wears blue.
So this was from last year's playoffs
believe
then,
so.
right?
I
The
believe-
Cubs
I believe so.
beat the Nationals, and then the Dodgers faced
The Cubs.
powerhouse Cubs.
Yeah, and got their ass kicked.
Yes, that alternate universe where the Cubs won the World Series and Trump won the presidency. Can you believe that almost happened? Okay.
Yeah. Well, the thing is about the Blue Bum is that he is out there and he's making these paintings, and he does every series. So if there's 55 series, he'll do 55 paintings. And
a series can be 2 games long, could be 3 games long, could be 4 games long.
Right.
And you face some teams a couple of series this season, some you only won, right?
Well,
Interleague.
yeah, there you have it.
Yeah,
And
help me out
the
here.
Angels are coming up, so he's going to be doing the Angels too.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody's got to
Yeah.
take on the good guys now and
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Well, let's continue because these
Okay.
are a fascinating homeless haiku.
Homeless haiku.
So
Yeah.
what do we have here?
It says Mets. This is when Chase Utley slid into second and actually broke the Mets guy's leg.
Ah.
That is him. If you'll notice, the leg is snapped off.
Oh, ow,
Mets
that hurts.
get all the breaks. They don't call it pussy ball. Some hard slides happen.
Well, didn't they change baseball's rules?
Yes, the Utley
because a team in New York was affected, and that's where the media is centered and MLB is centered. So anytime something happens to New York teams, everybody, we have to care about the babies now.
Yeah, they're biased.
We have to take care of the little children.
They are biased, yeah.
Our New York team needs. Oh, good.
Yeah, they're biased. They
Ugh.
are.
So
that's that one. That happened a couple of years ago.
And now, are these oils on canvas?
He paints acrylic on canvas, acrylic on cardboard, acrylic on found boards and plywood, whatever scrap that he can find or that I can find and drag it up to him. I have gallons of blue paint I take to him. All of it's found. It's corrugated cardboard on some of them.
What would happen if it turned out the materials were stolen? Okay, never mind.
They could be. Some of them could be.
Let's
stolen.
keep looking at these. These
Yeah,
are fun.
you've got-
I'm having fun. I feel like we're at the park in the cheap seats.
Okay.
Wow.
now
What do we have here?
That's a collage of
Okay.
baseball photos that he found in all the giveaway stuff up in Dodger Stadium.
What does it say?
Well, that's the LA, and obviously, if you look carefully, you see the St. Louis logo in the ball.
And a ball in the
circle.
middle in the dot. Yes.
So
okay.
it says, bust cards into shards, pray redbirds choke in the post, fall glory is blue.
Well, that looks to me like an unanswered prayer now. Would you say that?
It completely is an unanswered prayer.
Well,
It actually
the
is.
trick for the Dodgers is they're going to have to get into a postseason that doesn't involve
the Cardinals.
the Cardinals,
Exactly.
right? Other than that, they seem to be kind of a bulldozer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Are the Dodgers in first place right now?
Right now, they are in first place
They are
in the
first
NL
place.
West.
Is
and
there
it's
any
amazing.
team threatening them? Is there a team that you, as a Dodger analyst, are worried about? Who are you most worried about?
Oh God.
Colorado? They seem to be just
no,
kind
we're
of
ahead
like
Colorado. I don't think so. I
Yeah?
think this year's actually a pretty good year.
Yeah.
I think our starting rotation sucks as usual, and
Now Kershaw just got his 2,000th strikeout. Did you?
he
you
did, and he's on his way to the next 1,000. But it's going to take. You can't have one great pitcher in your starting rotation, and
You need
everyone
a few.
knows that. So,
Well, now we talk art here too. You're an artist. You've
Yeah.
shown around Southern California. You've
Yes.
shown nationally,
New
internationally.
York, yes.
What was your New York gallery back in the day?
Stuart Neal Gallery, 136 Green Street, right next to Leo Castelli.
Big time
on Green
Soho
Street.
galleries back in the day. There.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
We're talking the 80s though, right?
Yes.
And now you've also made film, correct?
Make a lot of films.
You working on any films now?
I'm working on a big film. I've been shooting it for 4 years. It's called
4 years.
It's called Tales of the American,
Tales of the American.
and it's about the American Hotel downtown and the Arts District and the people. You're part of this because you were down there in the '90s.
I was there.
And
80s too, pal.
We've interviewed for this movie. It'll be 2 hours. It comes in right now. The rough cut's about 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Who can sit through 2 hours and 17 minutes in this short attention span culture we live in? That's what I ask you.
Well, it's done in chapters, so there are 5 and 6 minute chapters, and there's 26 chapters to this movie.
And this is going to be in the theaters. We're not talking
This is booked for theaters, and it'll be on all digital
popcorn.
platforms. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And the thing about Tales of the American, it's more than just interviewing people about the American Hotel. It actually has to do with the cultural environment that created the kind of creativity that would bring people like a Matt Gleason with Coagula into a building in which there were a lot of very creative people like Alberto Miares.
A lot of cool people.
And even people, like when I first moved down there, it was the mid-70s.
The mid-70s.
So this is why this film, I feel, is important. We've interviewed 150 people, and I think we've got a good cross-section.
150 interviews.
150 interviews. Each interview is about an hour.
The American Hotel. So we've got the art you found about LA's baseball team,
right.
And you're making about the American Hotel, the creative epicenter of LA's underground for decades. Now, it's the arts center of the arts district, whatever that is.
Well, it's
I like the pie hole.
No, it's completely different now than what it was when I first moved down there, and then when you came.
Well, there were
down
many
there.
incarnations.
Yes, it's changed. It's gone through.
But your film's going to talk about even before then, right?
Yes, it goes all the way back. Our film starts in 1905, the day the hotel was built.
1905?
1905.
Wow.
Yeah, and then goes all the way up through the jazz era, in which Al's Bar was actually called the Golden West, and there was an incredible amount of jazz, like Jelly Roll Morton and other bands that played in there. And that's where jazz premiered in Los Angeles, was in that building.
Unbelievable.
So, anyway, we think it's kind of important.
Wow. I'm quite excited. Now, when does the movie come out?
Well, we're not sure. We're just finishing up the rough cut, and
I heard you're working with probably one of Southern California's top editors. Who's your editor you're working with?
Pamela Wilson.
Pamela Wilson.
Right now, she's chained to the editing bay.
You cuff him.
She's actually got a chain around her leg that goes over to
and who is your director of photography?
Raymond Newton, who has lived in the Arts District since 1976. 77. He came down in early 77 down there, and he was the best person because he's actually lived in the building, and he saw everything happen like myself as it unfolded, and he has a good view on it. And he's a photographer. You've seen his photographs in his film.
He was photo editor of Coagula Art Journal back in the day. Back in the day.
Yeah.
So Steve, what other art projects have you got cooking? I mean, you're hyping the Blue Bum.
Well, there's another guy that I know, and he's a surfer, and he's a guy that lives at the beach. And I met him in much the same way. I met him at the Malibu Wall, and he surfs every day. And I call him the One-Eyed Kook, and he makes nothing but surf art.
Wow.
And so I've got a lot of his pieces that I'm going to be showing or helping him with. So much like there's the baseball, the Blue Bum, there's also the One-Eyed Kook.
Steve, I'm seeing a pattern here. Oh, well, we'll leave it at that. Hey, Steve, thank you for being on Modern Art Blitz. Oh, wait, we have one more. Do we have one more?
You might have one.
We do.
Oh, look at
what is this?
That is
Can we read? We brandish you.
That's on cardboard.
We brandish your torches.
We brandish our torches, and this is some Spanish in there. Lumen a los
Valientes.
Valientes.
What is Valientes?
Valientes.
Is that a name of a team?
I'll have to ask him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him what it is. But he goes Spanish on me every now and then.
Well, it has to happen in Southern California sometime.
Yeah.
Steve Seemayer, thanks for being on Modern Art Blitz.
It was great.
We'll be back right after this.